God Almighty, we need Holy Spirit. Lord God Almighty, we need Holy
My dear brothers and sisters, today we have something very serious to talk about. Keep inviting friends. Keep inviting friends. Keep inviting friends. We need the Holy Spirit to guide us. We need the Holy Spirit to guide us. Keep inviting friends, your brothers and sisters, our brothers, to join us. Let's talk about this crisis in Southern Cameroons today. Is referendum a possible solution? Is referendum a possible solution? I'm just waiting. Invite friends. You can comment, you can write. Only the Holy Spirit will guide us. Invite your friends, invite friends. So that we get there, you can write your questions. I follow up your questions. I think we are tired of this conflict in Southern Cameroons. We are tired. All of us are tired. We are really tired of the wickedness. Every human being needs to live. We all have a right to live. That's why. We all have a hand in it. Invite friends. Let's talk. Is referendum the possible solution to this crisis? We're just tired, all of us. We all are tired. But we all have a right to talk. Nobody has a right, a supreme right over the other. We need the Holy Spirit to guide us so that we seek for a wise, prudent, and just means to solve this crisis. It's a socio-political problem, yeah. We all are citizens in this nation. We all have contributed to this nation. We have a right to say what we feel is right for all of us. We continue to invite the Holy Spirit to guide us. But invite friends, because we really want together. Is referendum the right thing to do? And how do we go about it if it is the right way? Invite friends. Fear should not conquer our objective. Fear should be out of the question. Even the mommy in the bush, in the forest, has a right to say what she feels. We all have a right. We are children of God. We are tired of this war in Southern Cameroons, and wish the world is so silent about it. Yeah, there is COVID-19. But the COVID-19, as we see, has not stopped the war. That's why this question should be answered by us, because we have just two things. Either independence directly or a referendum. What's your own stake about that? I'm still waiting as you are sharing, as you are inviting friends, I'm inviting friends also to join us so that we share our experiences. Referendum, yeah? Is it a possible way out of this war? Yeah, we already had a referendum in 1961. That's a question we all ask. We have to look into the history of referendum. What actually is a referendum? How positive is referendum? How good is referendum? Is referendum the way to solve some of these socio-political problems? Yes and no. Because we have fraudulent referendums and right referendum. Now we are in front of a situation which we have to come out. Mami them they live for bush. Here you can participate in pidgin English, in French, in Spanish, or in English. Yeah, Mavanga, you say a referendum was the way in. Only a referendum will be the way out. Yeah, we went through a referendum. That's true. Yeah, they called us and right. It depends on all of us. All of us, on all hands on deck. Nobody is special. Invite friends. Invite friends. Thanks for your contribution. Mavanga, Madangi. Every voice counts in this situation in Southern Cameroons. We are tired. Yeah, some are afraid because the fraudulent referendum they call plebiscite led us to where we are. But does that fear, even the referendum in 1972, does that fear keep us hostage? We know about the referendum that held in 1972, which they said, answer yes or we. We know about the fraudulent referendum, but this is 2020. This is the modern world. Yeah, people were tortured to answer yes and yes, meaning yes and we. But do we take fear and reject the right thing to do? No. We have either total independence or referendum. Before I start talking about referendum, to open your mind, my responsibility is to conscientize my people. That's my responsibility. Yeah, referendum is a political instrument, means to resolve some socio-political problems. Let's go back when we start talking about referendum. Many people don't even understand referendum. I'll take time to explain the referendum. I'll take time. I'm still waiting as you keep sharing, inviting your friends. And let the Holy Spirit assist us so that we can have some stance. I think the whole crisis depends on all of us. The more we sit on the wall and watch, the more they kill our people. Everybody has a life to live. Everybody has a right to say whatever he or she wants to say in every system, either it's working or it's not working. Your right is a divine right. I keep waiting, invite friends, keep inviting friends before I begin. I want to get to a certain number before I begin because it's a serious issue. That's why I keep playing the music to entertain you. As you continue to wait for some few minutes, I will begin. I don't have much time. 30 minutes, I'm out of here. Just 30 minutes, I'm out of here. We need the Holy Spirit. Many people have died. Many have lost their lives. Even with COVID-19, they are still killing people. The military killing. Our children that have big arms killing. The killing is everywhere. The issue is people are dying. It's no longer COVID-19. Yeah, thank you, Biggs Bilson. You say what you are requesting is bigger than you deserve. The curses in Deuteronomy on my brethren is right because of the sin of the forefathers. There's no problem. The curses are small. We are stronger than the curses. We have to stand, and that's why I want to take time to explain really what a referendum is, so that we understand the pros and the cons of a referendum, so that we see options that can bring us together. There are people who are seeking for federalism. They are right. There are people who are seeking for total independence. They are right. There are people who are seeking just for a status quo, and they are also right. Everybody is right at this point. But everybody is not right at this point because people are dying. We all are right at this point, but we all are not right at this point. That's my stake. We are right to say federalism, perfect. To say we stay together, perfect. To say independence, perfect. But one thing stands clear, we are not right. Because people are dying. Why are we not right? Because we are not saying the same thing. Because we are divided. And that's why I'm coming up. The life of people are being destroyed. Nobody has a right to kill the other. Nobody has a right. If I'm coming up, I'm condemning nobody. I'm condemning nobody here. I've come so that opinions should be put clear. We should come together as a people and speak. That's why I'm coming up. I'm condemning nobody, but I'm just putting the facts outside there. Very soon I will begin. By the time we get to 100, I will begin. As you keep sharing, I just have 30 minutes. As you keep sharing, inviting your friends, so that we just go straight to the topic. I did not write all the topics down. We just have to ask the question. Yeah, negotiation is another way out of this. Referendum is another way out of this. But let us look at it without prejudices. Plato says that referendum is the best way. If we go down to the history of referendum, we'll begin to understand how it started and we got to where we are today in the world. Keep sharing. By the time I get to 100 people, I will just come out with a theme, with a topic, explain it, then allow questions and people to talk. The issue is that we have to talk as a people. By the time we are not talking as a people, they keep killing our people. It might be my brother, my sister, my aunt, my uncle. Many of them are sleeping in bushes. But the fact is that people are dying. People are dying. It's whose fault? Your fault and my fault. Keep sharing to our brothers and sisters. You're very free to write your questions and participate. Dear brothers and sisters, very soon I will begin. Very soon I will begin with the topic of today. It's referendum, the possible way out to resolve this conflict. This is my first session. It's referendum, the possible way. Yeah, in 1961, the United Nations could have easily asked the Southern Cameroons to be part of independent French. Cameroon or independent Nigeria. But the United Nations chose to involve people. Let them make a choice of where. Okay, I get your question. I get your worries. Yeah, what is going on in Southern Cameroons? Yeah, BICS is all the design of God to open our eyes that to be one is very important. I'm waiting for the number. Once we click 100 people, I'll just go out with the topic. I'll talk about the topic. Then I leave people to their taste, and then questions come in. Then we'll see what we can do. Yeah, BICS, you are saying it. We had referendum, the plebiscite in 1961. We had it in 1972. How was it? How was it? The referendum we had, how was it? Where we are today. So meaning that referendum has pros and cons. So if we all are hanging and we say we want one thing, we shall be heard. But if we keep hanging on our different views, our people will keep dying and will keep fighting. We're not condemning anybody here. Here, I am not out to condemn anybody. We all have a right, and all those who die, they're dying because we are silent and we are not one people. Either we are one and solve this problem, or we keep killing ourselves, or we keep hearing our brothers and sisters being slaughtered like animals. Even with COVID-19, we still see that people are still dying. People are still being killed. We have seen bombs. We have heard gunshots left and right. You and I have a responsibility. And that responsibility is to come together as a people and solve this problem once and for all. Yeah, some people will say, oh, Father, it's a political matter. Yeah, it is not a political matter. It's a socio-political problem. And the most important thing here at this particular moment is that people are dying. Everybody has a right to live. And that's why I want to take this short time, just 30 minutes, talk about the referendum, such that we all come together and speak as a people. Very soon I will begin. As you keep sharing, as I also keep sharing, inviting friends to join us. Those who can participate, they can participate. You can write what you think. You're welcome. All opinions count. All opinions count. Keep inviting friends. All opinions count. All opinions count. Don't be afraid. All opinions count. Here, everybody has a right to say whatever he or she wants to say. You can speak in English. You can speak in Pidgin English. You can speak in Spanish. You can speak in French. I will get you. That's just the whole deal. I will get you. Whatever language you want to speak, you are very free. Feel free. Write your question. Si tu veux parler en français, parle en français. En anglais, ok, c'est correct. Yeah, Mr. Uchiba, you're right, Nelson. We'll start talking about referendum now. What position shall we take when compared on negotiation table? Shift position? No. We have a right. On the negotiation table, we'll have options. We are negotiating to separate, or we are negotiating to stay. On the negotiating table, all options are supposed to be on the table. But the fact is that on the negotiating table, it's not always a must. On the negotiating table, it's not always a must that what we think will be gonna be. And that's why by the time we are one people, then we stand. By the time we are not one people, we will not stand. And for now, when we look at the history, let me begin. Look at referendum. I want to talk about referendum now. Let's look at referendum. How it started. It goes down to the days of Plato. It goes down to the days of Plato. For Plato, a referendum was the way to resolve crisis or to make laws. But for Plato, the voice of the people counted so much, such that people had to vote. Each time there was a law, people had to vote. Each time there was a law, people had to come out. Everybody had to come out and vote. But you know what? At one point, for Plato, they had so many referendums, unending referendums, because each time that people came to reject any law, they had to come out to vote the laws. And that's how the issue of referendum was put to question. Then, for Plato, he had to propose aristocracy, whereby the aristocrats were the wise people, meaning that the people were supposed to choose a certain particular group of people, or they're supposed to choose a certain group of family, such that they teach them how to rule. And these people were supposed to rule and rule. Each time they were supposed to pass the power to the one they had prepared. So they called that one an aristocrat. So that aristocrat was supposed to be somebody wise who could identify what the people wanted and then do what the people wanted, not what he wanted. But unfortunately for Plato, these aristocrats became selfish because they had maximum power. The aristocrats had maximum powers. So they were no longer using their wisdom to do what the people wanted, but they instead fell into material interests, material things that push them to forget about the desire of the people. So aristocrats started becoming selfish instead of being selfless. They became materialistic, and that's how the issue of aristocrats fell. Aristocracy had to be dismissed from any societal organization, and that's the problem today, and whereby they finally discovered that it was better for the people's representative democracy. And that's what we have today, whereby we have parliamentarians who are supposed to represent the people in the parliament. So we see how the issue of referendum changed from the sovereignty of the people, the voice of the people, to the hands of aristocrats. Aristocrats abused this sovereign power, and we went back to the people's representative. And today, with the people's representative, like the parliamentarians we have in Cameroon, we are discovering that they have actually nothing to offer, because what they go and discuss, they discuss not even with the people. They just decide and do whatever they want. They change the constitution whenever they want. But normally, before any law is changed, they need to consult the people. So today we're talking about the Southern Cameroons issue. That's why we have the court, we have the Supreme Court, we have the human rights, we have the universal education to check the system, such that the people's representatives don't do what they want, but they do what the people want. And what is all about referendum? What referendum is such that, like in our days today, it gives the people, the voiceless, a chance to vote, to say what they want. Those mama them for inside bush, they get right for talk with the way they want. Those papa them inside forest, they get right for talk with the way they want. They have the right to say whatever they want. And that is why, like in Switzerland, I take example, Switzerland has 600 referendums. 600 referendums. Switzerland had 600 referendums. Dear brothers and sisters. And that is why the issue of referendum in Southern Cameroon, is it the right way out or no? Because on the negotiating table, you have all options. Do you want to stay? Do you want to separate? Or do you want a union state? What are your own stake? What are you proposing? Yeah, for Kevin, you say we might be cheated or crooked in a referendum. Bitter memories I have about February 1961. You're right, von Kelvin. There are bitter memories that kept us where we are today. But if we are one people, the good thing about referendum is that it gives the power to the people. It allows our people to stand and say what they want. The bad thing about referendum is that they can play games and you don't get the real result, such that the majority might not be the voice of the people. They might be fake people. At the end, the referendum will seal you again into your graves. But the good thing is, if we all are one, we will come to fight it hard. We'll make sure that the referendum is free of any fraud. And if we're talking about referendum today, it is because we have seen that the international community is afraid. The international community is afraid. Let us face facts today. The international community is afraid of what? Of the division that they have noticed within the 4 years. The international community is so afraid. And if we're talking about referendum today, it is because we have seen that. Yeah, if we're talking about referendum today, it's because the international community is afraid. Don't forget, Cameroon is a sovereign state. Cameroon is a sovereign state. I would like to explain this to you people also. Just know that the way the United Nations function is not the way many of us think. They have bylaws and policies. That's how the United Nations functions. And in the United Nations, you know what? We have 5 major powers. Until they put their hands on decks, nothing will work. And in those 5 major powers, as for now, only the United States seems to be sympathetic with what is happening in Southern Cameroons. China don't care. Russia, they don't care. And other nations, like Germany, they are just playing cards. They are either for or not for. So what is your stake? We must go there insisting on our independence. Yeah, Uchiba. Insisting Larry shall refuse, but we might be forced. Yeah, you're right. But if we are going, we should first of all be one. What do you want? Because the issue of referendum is not something that should go with passion. Because at this point, when we look at the socio-political problem, we might either be so passionate and seeking for freedom without being prudent or wise. We have to be wise, just, and prudent, so that virtue should guide us, not passion, not sentiments, not emotions. And that's why I come up today that let's talk. I'll come up on Monday, I'll come up on Wednesday, I'll come up on Fridays, and we shall be talking. And there I will need also some of you to contact me privately. Because as long as we come as one people, we shall speak and look at the procedures that will assist us go in for a referendum. Because there are many countries that are ready to come for us, to assist us. Yeah, if we have one voice, if majority of us are talking about referendum, many countries would like to come behind to say, what is happening? How do we help these people? Now we are just crying and crying and crying. They are killing us, they are killing us. But Cameroon is a sovereign state, my dear brothers and sisters. Cameroon has all the right, though they don't have the right to kill. For say being one, if you ask my opinion, what is your opinion, Reverend Father Andrew Eswa? I will tell you loud and clear that I need freedom for my people. Whatever it takes for my people to be free. The freedom is, first of all, let our people be recognized as our people. That's my problem. The Cameroon government if they were wise, they're supposed to have asked for forgiveness. Identify us as a people. When they identify us as a people, then we can talk. If you cannot identify somebody by the name of that person, it's a fact that that person is hopeless and useless, and that person is supposed to be your slave forever. That's our fact. And that's the fact that we all are hanging on today. We all are hanging because if the Cameroon government had identified us as a people, they don't want to, they're hanging on the Republican constitutions that they changed without consulting the people. They're hanging on that they have a right. But I want to say today that the fact that they have not identified us as a people should be cause for worries. Why are we not together? Yes, we are already one. We are having the same spirit, the same way to move. But among us, our problem, I say it again, our problem is you and I. That our problem is us, my dear brothers and sisters. Our problem is us. We understand that there are so many guys down there that have taken the revolution for their money making. But we can't follow them. We have to stand and say the truth. We have to stand as a people. How do we work together? Okay, if we want to go and present to the international community, yes, we have the right. I don't refuse. We have the right. It is legal. It's official. We have a case. Yeah, we have a case. And that's just the truth. We have a case. The international community knows we have a case. We have a case. The case is that Southern Cameroonians are a people. We should not be afraid because referendum that took place some years back and it was fraudulent, it will be fraudulent this time around. No, it was fraudulent because our people did not take measures. They were so nice, you know, our grandpapa, they would be so nice. They were just enjoying themselves and say, oh, no, these French guys are so nice. They are our brothers. Let us just forget about them. Anyway, let us do it anyhow it goes. By the way, we freed ourselves from Nigeria. Everything can go. No. At this hour, at this era, we have to face the fact and hold the bull by the horn. And holding the bull by the horn is we all have together. We have to come together. We are together, yeah, but we are divided in many ways because our own brothers today are the ones fighting us mostly. Those killing the English-speaking Cameroonians are the English-speaking Cameroonians mostly. When Herod killed Stephen and the community did not pray, Herod was very happy that, wow, this is good. And Herod went along to kill Paul and Silas. Unfortunately for him, the community rose up and they prayed all night. And Paul and Silas were liberated. Let us open our eyes, dear brothers and sisters. Because our own brothers facilitate the killing of our own brothers and sisters, the French Cameroon, they are very happy. They are rejoicing. And that's why killing us means nothing to us. So what is actually your own stake? This issue does not depend on you and I. It depends on all of us. All of us have to say something. If we are silent, our people are dying. They're killing our people every day. Just this morning, somebody sent me an information, and I will hide the identity of the person. The person traveled to Nigeria. He traveled to Nigeria, and he is with some of our brothers and sisters chased away from the bordering part of Southern Cameroons to Nigeria. He showed me the picture. Traumatized children. Children that have been walking on corpses. Their brothers and sisters killed. I mean, I'm talking about today. This happened just this week. I just want to bet you, if we all can feel the pains, this will be horrible. Who is killing who? If I say we kill ourselves, it's because we've allowed the enemy, we've allowed the French government to rejoice with some of our brothers to kill us. If the French Cameroon is killing Southern Cameroonians, it's because most of our own brothers and sisters working with the government have decided to join the Cameroon government to kill our own brothers and sisters. So the Francophones that come to kill, you all know Kale Kale, we all experience Kale Kale. But many people in the French Cameroon never experienced Kale Kale, where our parents, brothers and sisters were killed. We have to stand to overcome the odds. Thank you, Stephen. We have to stand as a people to overcome the odds. And that is where we are today. We have to stand it. We have to defend. My own is we have to seek the just, wise, and prudent solution. Not influenced by sentiments or emotions. What is good for us? What's your stake? Tell me your stake. Referendum, total independence. Yes. Let me explain total independence. Many nations, we have been fighting for 4 years. This is a fact. The war has been going on for 4 years. Our own children, before the war was declared, more than 100 and something were killed. It meant nothing. It meant nothing until 5 to 6 gendarmes were killed. And the president of Cameroon declared a war and said he was going to fight, because by then he said he identified the enemies. But when they were killing 100 to 200 of our brothers and sisters, he never saw the enemies. The issue is the hatred. I'm talking about the hatred which is being planted in Cameroon. Brothers and sisters, don't forget about this fact that many Francophone Cameroonians don't even understand. They don't understand the history of Southern Cameroons. We should be very, very clear about that. It's not sentimental. Even you and myself, like myself, we were the first batches in 1995 to write Cameroon GC about the history of Cameroon. What did they even teach us? They gave us fragments of the history. The French Cameroonians don't even know about our history. Those who know, they manipulate it. And that is just the fact. Yeah, total independence. We need total independence. Let me explain on total independence. The issue about total independence depends on who? The United Nations. To revise the Article 1608. But how is that possible? Only when the 5-man power in the United Nations raise their hands up to say, yes, we support this. It takes place immediately. But as long as this 5-man power, they don't decide, the United Nations has no voice, no veto power to declare Southern Cameroons an independent nation. No, they don't have the veto power. The power of the United Nations depends on this 5-man's power with the other member of the Security Council. So that's why the war has been going on. Many of them are just quiet. But the fact is, if we look at it right from the beginning of this war, how many nations are supporting us? How many nations have come out boldly to say, we as a nation, We as a nation, we recognize Southern Cameroonians as a people. For 4 years, no. No country. Because they are afraid to go into serious war with Cameroon, which is a sovereign nature. They are afraid. No matter what the option, yes, thank you, Reddington. You say you want the best for the Cameroonian, no matter what the option may be. But that can only come if we stop lying and hiding the bitter truth. That's true. We should stop lying. We should face the fact. The truth is that Southern Cameroonians have a right to be independent. They have a right. They are a people. And the whole worries about all this is that the identity of the Southern Cameroonians has been put aside. By the way, they don't even want to recognize us as a people. That's the first thing. Recognize Southern Cameroonians as a people is the first thing. By the time you recognize them, then you can talk with them. For now, they are not even worried to recognize us as a people. That's why they can beat our people, they can kill our people, they can molest our people, they can do whatever they want with our people, because for them, we belong to them. And they will use us, they will manipulate us, they will put us to where we want. So now, the fact now is, do we really think a referendum can solve this problem? We have two options on the table, negotiating table. Negotiating table. Either we are negotiating to separate, or we are negotiating to restore our statehood. And restoring our statehood, whether we want to be partnership with them, or will be a federal system that will be totally independent from theirs. The fact that they have not recognized us as a people is the problem. I will not stand to support anybody killing anybody. The Cameroonian military going down to Southern Cameroons to kill as they want. We have heard so many videos, and they say, oh, ça va chauffer, on va tuer, on va écraser, vous allez entendre. We have heard all types of videos, and they have killed so many, they have killed so many. But we are not going to stand to support them. We are not going to stand to defend that. Killing is killing. And we know those who are really causing the confusion in our own camp. I want to talk about our own camp. Now our own people. Now who then they for government? Where they know our own people, where they go kill them? Now who them? Make a talk of pigeon small. Who are there? Those who are in the government. Dear brothers and sisters, it's high time for us to stand and face the truth. The truth is that we need to stand somewhere. Referendum or total independence. I want to explain the issue of total independence. Just give me some few minutes. Dear brothers and sisters, I want to explain something about total independence. Some of us are just talking. To have total independence of Southern Cameroons, you have one choice. One choice, because United Nations cannot impose on Cameroon as a sovereign nature. And by the way, don't forget, Cameroon sustains the United Nations. Cameroon sends armed forces to support the United Nations Peace Force. Cameroon contributes to the well-being of United Nations billions of dollars. So to have independence, United Nations cannot impose that on Cameroon until those having the seat on the United Nations, they stand out. And look at the people. China China is not for Southern Cameroons. Who again? United Nations. I said it. They are for and not for. They play cards. They are just sympathetic. Go down to Russia. Russia, they don't even want to hear. They are still there because all of them are exploiting the oil down there in Limbe and in Guti. Dear brothers and sisters, to have independence, you have one choice. You have to have, like what happened in South Sudan, an organized military. Organized military that will be able to fight and send away the Cameroon military. You have to have an organized military. I don't want to make this one very clear. At times, many of us who are very ignorant, we just by passion, sentiment, we need independence. We need independence. We all need independence, but we need to know the bitter truth. To have independence, this is 4 years we're fighting. Our young brothers and sisters are fighting. They picked up arms. This 4 years. It's 4 years. It's 4. And no nation has come behind us to stand to say we recognize these people as a people. None. So for you to succeed, you have to do it in such a way that you have an organized army that will be able to send away the Cameroon armed forces, and they will have less access to the Southern Cameroons. Then the United Nations can come. Then and only then can the United Nations come and say, okay, these people, they have a right for their independence. And remember South Sudan, it took how many years? About 30-something years of bloodshed. So we have to come together. So if we are standing, we need independence. Do you have a well-trained army? Are you people ready to organize yourself to have a well-trained army? South Africa, they had Cuba that supported them and trained their armed forces, trained their young men and women openly, and they were not afraid. They backed up South Africans. They backed up South Africans. South Africans, they fought to an extent whereby they were able to seize the power from the government until the government had little or nothing to do with them. Then could the world come and say, oh yes, oh yes. So South Sudan fought. So to have total independence, remember, you have to have total independence, you have to fight. Have an organized military. The option that is the option that nations could come behind us is the option of a referendum. And how does that go? We all rally and say we are tired of this war. We are tired of this war. And what we want now is total independence. Or we want our voices to be heard. Those who are talking about federalism, they are okay. Sorry. Those talking about federalism, they are okay. Those who talk about the union state, they are okay. Everybody is right. But the fact now is referendum will go now to quench the fire. Because by the way we are going, if a particular group takes over and wins the war, we are going to be under them until they recover what they spent. But if we give the voice to the people, and all these groups that are fighting come together and make sure that the referendum takes place as it's supposed to be, yes, then we'll be able to stand and make the referendum look what it's supposed to be. We know that our people want total independence. You want to call it Ambazonia, the issue is that just the fact that they don't want to identify us as a people is a great worry. Let me read Edith Buma. Edith Buma says we have to be patient here. Our revolution is on track, brother. We just took 4 years and other countries are willing to intervene. Other countries took more years before any country could even talk about their struggle. Why right? You're right, Edith Buma. It's not a day's journey. It's not a day's journey. Yeah, Marjorie Besson. Marjorie, you say the people of Ambazonia are already in charge. You're right, they are in charge. That I know. I know our young boys and brothers and sisters. I will never support killing of anybody. I will never support anybody killing anybody. But you know what? Some people say I'm not talking here, whether you call it whatsoever. But what I want to say is, let us look the pros and the cons. If you say you want to go in for a referendum, you have to choose one thing. You have to choose one thing. That you have to make sure it is well organized. Many people will insult all of us. Many people will say, oh, whatever they want, because they don't see our people being killed. The dead bodies of our brothers and sisters mean nothing to them. Means nothing to them. Whether the Cameroon military, men and women being killed because they want to go and kill, whether Southern Cameroonians being killed because they're struggling to defend themselves, the issue is that we all have a right to live. My message is, Southern Cameroonians should be identified first of all, and then their voice be given to the voiceless. The voice be given to the voiceless. I can read all types of messages, but the fact is, I will have to invite next time. I will invite somebody, an expert, to explain to you all the pros and the cons of a referendum. Why a referendum should be an option on the table. Referendum should be an option on the table to solve the socio-political problem. And we have to know that one very clearly. Whatever the solution is, I'm good with that. Whatever the solution is, I'm good. If the people decide federation, perfect. If the people vote and say independence, perfect. The issue is that nobody has a right to kill the other. Nobody has a right to kill the other. We have seen how people are being killed left and right. If some of us are coming out today, it's not because we have nothing to do. It's because we're tired of the killing. Look at yourself. Look at yourself at the mirror. We should not be afraid because the other referendum in 1961 and 1972 were fake, that this one can be fake. If we put our hands together, we will fight and make it be the right thing. But if we keep fighting one another, it will never stand. Cameroon, as we say Cameroon, it used to be a large Cameroon. A large Cameroon. Nobody has a right to impose his or her identity to anybody. Nobody. But what we are saying today is imposition. Imposition of an identity to some people. And the Southern Cameroonians are the victims today. They are being imposed to accept what they don't want again. They wanted before, good. But today they don't want. They are saying, we want to speak, hear us. So dear brothers and sisters, next week on Monday, same time, invite your friends. I will come on with an expert who will explain the pros and the cons of a referendum. and also the right for our people to be identified as a people. So I want to wish you all a wonderful day. There are many who will say all types of things, but the issue is that the life of our people remain the main thing in our heart. We have to stand and we'll define gradually how we're going to move. We shall move gradually such that we can also attract the international sympathy. So I just want to wish you all a wonderful day. And all your comments, I will read your comments and I will reply if possible to some of you. If I cannot reply, next week you'll be free to call and say whatever you want to say. Here, every voice is important. Here, every voice is important. You saying one Cameroon, you are right. You saying referendum only for Southern Cameroonians, you are right. You saying independence and only independence, you are right. You saying it's only the status quo that is there now, you are right. We all are right. But we have to agree on something to be together. Something that unites all of us and brings the voice of the majority. So I want to wish you the best. I want to wish you the best, and may God bless you. Each time I come up, 30 minutes is okay for me. And I just wish that next week, same time, prepare your questions to the person that I will invite. He will have time to answer you guys. So just be alert and keep asking questions. Read about referendum and find out what actually it is all about, so that you can understand what we're saying. Have a nice day. Have a nice day. Hatred is being planted in the hearts of all Cameroonians, be it Southern Cameroonians, be it French Cameroonians. Hatred is being planted, and that is what we all need to fight and pray, because if that hatred continues, the anger continues, even when you have your independence or we have our independence, the hatred will still continue to date. But the issue is, dear brothers and sisters, the just, the wise, and the prudent decision is what is best for us. Virtue should guide us, not passion, sentiments, or emotion. Have a nice day, and God bless you all. Bye-bye. Next week, I'll be bringing somebody to put to you clearly the pros and the cons of the referendum. Bye-bye. Have a nice day.